going on, guys? Brandon with Strict Vision Athletics here with part 5 of the gym tour. Excited about this one. Let's start over here. So, picking up where we left off, when we left off with all of the on-it equipment, we're coming to one of my new favorites when it comes to sort of different equipment are going to be the Donnie Thompson Fat Bells. So these are very cutting edge. I didn't even really know about them until probably a year ago, something like that. And what they allow is for the user to basically do dumbbell exercise in a perfectly symmetrical piece of machinery. What this allows also is any kind of a rotational exercise to be done perfectly. Anytime you're doing an Arnold press or anything where the wrists are going to be really moving, a bent over row, or any kind of a power lift, if you're going to do a single arm snatch or a clean with the dumbbell, you can use a fat bell instead. And what you'll notice is that the weight, because it doesn't have two weird round plates around it, the weight is going to move a lot better. It's going to move a lot smoother, and you're going to notice that when you do the movement. So I really like these things, you guys. These are from Rogue. So Rogue has the exclusive on these. There is a second variety that you can pick up from Sorinex. I believe they're called the center mass bells. Don't ask me to tell you which one came first. I really don't know. I know that Rogue and Sorinex kind of rip off each other routinely. They're both such huge giants in the fitness industry, so I don't really think that it matters. But there are two options if you do want something like this. The Rogue Thompson Fat Bells, which is what I have, and then the center mass dumbbells that Sorinex offers. As far as the weight, I do have the full line here. They go from 9 to 97, so they really do offer quite a wide variety. The other thing I really like about them, at first I was actually a little bit ticked when I found this out. They go in weird interval ranges as far as weight. So 9, 13, 18, 26, like what is that? Why are they like that? Originally, like I said, I was a little bit kind of irritated at that. I didn't really like it. But what I found is that it provides a cool in-between weight to your traditional dumbbell set, which of course will go 5, 10, 15, 20. This allows you to kind of do something and have a second option when it comes to usage and when it comes to the actual performance. These things are great. I like them, and they provide a cool toy if you want something that's going to be different, a little bit off the wall. So next we're going to come here to the Assault Bike. So this, like the Assault Air Runner, is probably one of the best pieces of certainly high-intense interval training that you can possibly get. I use this for a variety of different reasons. My favorite is to do interval training. I'll do a 10-20 split where you'll go fast for 10 seconds, slow for 20. I'll do target time, target distance, target heart rate. I don't typically do target heart rate, though I know a lot of people do. They'll ride the bike until their heart reaches a certain heart rate, keep it in that little VO2 max range, and then just leave it there and see how far they can go. Very efficient, very effective. I have just always found it a lot easier to do time-based intervals based on distance. So that's the Assault Bike. You are the motor, same as the Assault Air Runner. There's no, weird electrical stuff going on here other than batteries for the display screen. This can go anywhere. It's small, it's compatible, it's got wheels on the front. It's a great at-home piece of equipment, even if you don't really own a gym, but you want something to get. I'm sure we'll do a YouTube video on this particular piece, but I believe these guys are probably around $1,000 out the door. And this is an older model now. I know they've got a couple more that have come out, and Rogue has a version of this as well, the Echo Bike. That's very good from what I've heard. But this guy has been battle tested and is definitely true to its name. Well done, Assault Fitness. So now I'm going to transition over this way. I'm going to walk this way, come over toward our dumbbells. So these are GP dumbbells. They're one of the first pieces of equipment that I ever purchased. And I think they're going to get an upgrade here pretty soon, actually. But dumbbells by themselves are one of, if not the single best piece of equipment that your at-home gym can and must contain. Some kind of an independent loaded weight that you can go one in each arm. Now, there are so many different dumbbell variations. You can get the ones with the dial from, I think it's Noble, that will change in your hand. You don't have to have like 5, 10, 15, 20, like a full line. I personally, I'm old school. I wanted this. I find that if you're setting up several different stations, you're going to want multiple dumbbells. Having those dumbbells that'll change with the dial is nice, but you've only got 2. So if you're trying to set up 2 to 3 stations, you can see where I'm going with this. It might be a problem, and you might need a few of them anyway, so you might as well just get these. My dumbbells also come with the fat grips. And oh, do we get a lot of comments about the fat grips. I like these things. I was first introduced to these when I trained with the NFL. They had them on all of their dumbbells. So to me, I was like, all right, I got to follow that up. I got to get them on mine. And they're awesome. Fat bells will turn call it a 1 rep max 25 exercise into a 1 rep max 15-pound exercise. Anything that you think is difficult, put these on there. All of a sudden, it gets a whole lot more difficult. These are awesome for building the strength of your grip, your forearms, your biceps. Ultimately, whatever it is you're trying to do, wearing these is going to make them a lot tougher. If the movement is pull, if the movement is a press, I have found that it doesn't make it tougher. It actually makes it a little bit nicer. I like having the big, thick grip in my hand. Like if I'm doing dumbbell press or military press, I like it as opposed to the thinner, metal in my hand. If this is lying right here, you'll notice that you can really kind of dig into it and get your grip. Again, I like it. That's why I have them on all my dumbbells. The other question we do quite often get when talking about the fat bells and dumbbells are the different variety of what one can do versus the other. As I mentioned, fat bells are going to be really good for any kind of Olympic lifting. If you're going to do a power snatch or any kind of a movement that's going to require a lot of energy to do it, that's going to be your go-to. Also for rotational exercises, if your wrist is doing a lot of movement, like a bent over row, that kind of thing, the fat bells really do win. Now, the dumbbells win in a different category based on how I train in my gym. The biggest reason they win is because these go into the spot grips. For heavy lifts like flat bench, incline bench, anything where I'm really pushing it, I always use the spot grips, and the spot grips only work with the dumbbells. So, dumbbells win for that category for sure. And there are also specific exercises that you can do with these that you cannot do just based on their shape with the fat bells themselves, like overhead tricep extension. Overhead tricep extension requires that both hands are flat on the face of the dumbbell, raising up and down behind your head. You can't do those with a fat bell unless you take two of them and you clang them together. And I found that exercise really actually doesn't feel all that right, so I kind of stay away from that one. So if I had to choose between these two, and that's another question we get, if I had to only have one, I would go dumbbells, just because they're kind of the king. They're old school. They've stood the test of time. There are so many exercises that you can do this and that with, meaning dumbbells and fat bells. But there's a lot of exercises that you must have dumbbells for that fat bells will not be able to do. So dumbbells win if I had to choose. All right, let's move on. Next part, I'm going to kind of just post up here and talk about this little corner of the room. Deceivingly, there's actually quite a lot on this wall. There's a lot to talk about. And I'll start over here in the corner. So in the corner, what I have back here, these are all held on by wall control, by the way. Shout out to them. They're awesome. That's going to be the attachment for the Rogue trolley system. These are just the handles and the weight-loaded pins. So those go on there, and we'll do a YouTube video about those eventually. These are the clamps and the pins that also go with that grip system for the trolley. This right here, if you can see, is actually a custom piece that I had designed for a belt squat variation. That is a really cool thing. That also goes onto the trolley. A lot of this stuff attaches to the rack. That's why I kept it right here. This slides onto the trolley system. You slide the trolley system out, put up the pin, and we'll have to do a video explaining that too, because there's quite a lot that goes into it. But this is a belt squat variation, similar to what Soranex made. Soranex has a belt squat that goes off of their rack. This is the exact same thing. So that's this. Right here to the right, we have the standing hamstring curl by Elite FTS. So this is a custom piece as well. This is one they just recently came out with, though it hasn't hit their store yet, I don't think. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think they can. As the name explains, this attaches to the rack, and you are able to do standing single leg hamstring. Typically, this is a machine all by itself that you'll find in the gym, usually tucked away with some of the more miscellaneous machines, but I really like it. I feel that it's really good for PT, recovery, and just overall hamstring strength. If that is something you want to target and you can't do a lying hamstring curl, this is probably your best bet. To the right, we've got the Rogue monolift system. These appear in just about all of our videos that we do with the barbell. As you guys have seen, or maybe you haven't, the actual suspension of the barbell moves when the barbell is pressed, and the arms move, and that allows you to do press movements in place. whether you're doing a bench or a squat, anything that's heavy. If you're doing any kind of a heavy lift and you don't want to walk around with it, those are your best friend. Those are from Rogue. Those are outstanding. Up here, we've got the Rogue safety arms. Pretty standard. They go on, I have a Monster Light, so mine is a 3x3 with 5/8 holes. That's the size of this. These are the spot grips, which I mentioned earlier as far as why I love dumbbells. These, for any number of explanation on these, go to some of our earlier videos. They appear in just about all of them. The dumbbells go in here. These attach to the top of my rack, and they will spot you when you do a bench press or a military press, any kind of a dumbbell press movement. That will spot you when you let go. If you make a fist, it will move. If you let go, it will stop. And that's the way it's safe. It saves you from getting crushed. These, right below the spot grips, are going to be my micro weights. They're by Rogue. I got these originally because I wanted a way to transition my dumbbells before I got the fat bells, which then came in the weights that ultimately provide that transition weight all by themselves. But these are really handy for some of my clients that, older clients that need in-between weights, clients that need like 6 pounds, not 5, 8 pounds, not 10. You get where I'm going with that. It provides a cool way to clamp on an extra weight to an existing dumbbell. Down here, and these are not really all that much to talk about. They're pretty much just handles. I use them for single arm lateral raises or anything where I want to attach this to the rack and just hold on to it. It's pretty much what this is for. Down here is a cool one. This one, which maybe we did do a YouTube, I can't remember. We'll have to do a YouTube video on it. This is a dip attachment. So these two pins come off, this comes off, mounts onto the rack, and then these slide into the holes on the top here of the actual attachment. This is by a company called Mutant Metal. They're custom designed. These are, all of this stuff is pretty much custom designed. You have to find the certain manufacturers that'll make it. But like I said, Mutant Metals, he does all sorts of different grip variations, and I liked it because it allows me to go wider with dips. I can go really narrow, which is traditional, and I can go really wide for the chest. And am I missing anything? Yes. In addition to the micro weights, I've actually got magnet weights as well. These are from a company called PlateMate, and they go on to kettlebells, fat bells. This is my way to increase in interval fat bells because these are just click, just stick right under the fat bells. So that's great. This is a forearm roller. Get this out briefly, just to give an idea. Just a miscellaneous item that I use because I do a lot of grip strength. This slides into the actual rack, and then this rolls. This is actually from Titan Fitness. I believe this is a Titan Fitness piece. One of the only ones that still exists in this gym, as most of it has already been bought and sold or updated for something else. But that is Titan Fitness. It's a good piece. Shout out to them. They did a good job. And that concludes part 5. Guys, as a teaser, part 6 is going to be all power rack. We're going to talk about this. This guy's going to get his own little piece of the pie because there's a whole lot to talk about on our squat rack that you might not know about. A lot of this is specially made, specially ordered, and customized for a specific design. Guys, thank you so much as always. If you have any questions, please comment them below. Hit subscribe and let us know if there's anything I missed or if there's something you want to see more detail on.